Hi, folks. This is Kellen Riley here, back with another AI development playtest. I've got this AI named Boatman, and I've been tweaking on him. So we'll start up a game on islands and see if he has some success. I've been watching a few playtests, and it doesn't quite. It's not quite going the way I expect it to. I'm expecting Boatman to build some cannon galleons, some galleons, take over the water, and then behind that build a force of militiaman that it puts into transport ships and sends over to the enemy. And it sorta does that, but it doesn't really commit as hard as I want it to the land and water attacks. I've noticed that, well, we'll see it happen, so I'll take note of it when it occurs. I'll take note of when problems occur, what the problems are. Really not sure what the fixes are for those, but, you know, we're just watching some age, right? And you'll have to excuse me if I'm not making much sense. It's because today has been a bit challenging. I woke up a bit late, feeling a bit depressed, and only thing I could do was make a few code tweaks to my AI and start running it, and then I would wander off and take a walk or something and come back and see what the state of things was. So, excuse me if I say some nonsense. That's just part of the deal with live commentary, is what comes out of your mouth is not always cogent. There's a word, cogent. Here, let's look that one up and make sure I used it right. Alright, C-O-G-N-T. Clear, logical, and convincing. Okay. For some reason, my browser, my internet browser, is like redirecting when I search Google. So, like when I search cogent, for example, look at that. It goes to boyu.com.tr. Like, what the heck is this? I might have a Trojan downloaded. Who knows? You know, when you're hurting on the money, you're almost willing to do anything to download Age of Empires 2. So I accept the risks and will deal with the consequences. I think I can do like a normal Google search in Edge though, so, and I'm not one of those people who's like a Chrome only or Firefox only browser type guy, you know. You got folks out there who refuse to use anything but DuckDuckGo, and that's their decision, not mine. Anyways, lots of normal things happening here. Gathering sheep, gathering berries. Very good, very good. I did try to tweak some strategic numbers related to economy so that the AI advances through the ages a bit more smoothly. Not really sure if tweaking those numbers had a really large effect. Probably not. I only tweaked the numbers by a few percent, so for example, let's go to the code here and look at SN food gatherer percentage. So at the beginning of the game, it just sets the food gatherers to 75% and the wood gatherers to 25%. And that seems like, you know, a reasonable ratio of food to wood. In the beginning stages of the match, at least. Of course, as Boatman gets its economy rolling a little more, it starts to shift over heavily into wood and gold to produce a navy. And it actually does, you know, some stuff on the water. The way it's behaving is not optimal, though, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. It's going to take us a while to get there, but we will. And I can hear the complaints, Kellen, you're running this on normal speed. Why don't you run it, twice as fast or 100 times as fast so you can develop faster? And, that's a valid point. I could be running this AI much faster, so I could be, my development cycle would be shorter as a result of that. That's true. And, my pace of development would be a bit more rapid if I chose to speed up the game. But the thing is, I love Age of Empires too much on the normal speed. It's like, it's a casual speed, right? And I'm not trying to be the AI Terminator guy who just develops all these AIs that nobody has any chance against, right? That's not the objective. The objective is more just to maybe slow down a little bit, be more observant of what's happening in the game, be a little bit more conscious about what code changes I make. I'm not looking to do rapid development, right? So some days I spend 2 or 3 hours, hacking on a script and trying to put something together. And of course, the workflow could be improved. People have their own workflows, right? Some people like to use Cheat Engine to view the values of certain strategic numbers as the game progresses, because that gives them a better understanding about how the strategic numbers are linked to each other, how one can change another, etc., etc. And the AI ref, it's good enough. It makes explicit and clear what strategic numbers do what and how it affects other strategic numbers if it does at all. There's if you look up a strategic number in the AI ref, like SM max camp distance, there's some linked SNs and some related SNs. So, linked, I assume, means that tweaking that strategic number also tweaks other strategic numbers. That's what I assume linked means. And related just means related but not linked. And I'm really not sure if you go behind that statement, what does that really mean? I'm not sure, so. Like I said, I've woken up in a strange state of depression, and now I am beginning to feel the giggles. There's something about just watching the AI, do its dweeb stuff, and sitting down with a cup of coffee and doing some scripting stuff, There's something about it that's just sort of calming. And watching the game at this pace, it's also like sort of a calming thing, right? It's like, oh, there's some guys, and girls, and they got their axes, they're out there chopping the lumber, and there's some people, hunting deer, and there's a dock going up, and whoop. So that was pretty strange. Looked like a villager who was building this dock got retasked to gather food, so I think eventually the dock goes up. Yeah, here comes another builder, so that's the AI for you. It could be my fault or a quirk of the Age of Empires 2 engine that I don't have much control over. And that's one of the things, when something goes wrong with my AI, I assume it was my fault, right? I don't say, oh, the Age of Empires 2 AI scripting engine is just so buggy and whacked out you can't hope to accomplish anything with it. I don't say that. I say to myself, okay, there's something in my code that has probably caused this to occur, and this is undesirable, so what can I do in my code to fix that issue? Right, it's not a good idea when you're dealing with these long-standing software systems to just assume that they're riddled with errors and bugs and you can't ever hope to cope with them, right? That's sort of a hopeless outlook. It's an outlook I've had in the past, for sure, but it doesn't really help you move forward when you're trying to develop something that just sort of works. And I would say that's my objective when I do this stuff, right? It's not to be perfect, it's to develop something that sort of works. And sort of works, by my definition, is a bit of a fuzzy definition, for sure. It's not a clear it's not clear what's sort of working and what's sort of not working, right? Where's the line there? I just throw my hands up in the air and I say, well, good enough for me. Let's move on with our lives. Anyways, I do like the this new architecture style of the Italians. I'm trying to play as some of the newer civs, and it is sort of fun to see what kind of flavor they have. For example, the Italians, if we look at their tech tree, it says Archer and Naval Civ. So I figured, okay, islands and an Archer Civ, or Naval Civ, that's pretty cool. Advancing to the next stage costs less, so that's cool. And dock techs are really cheap. Fishing ships are cheaper. And gunpowder units are cheaper, and that would mean cannon galleons are cheaper, so the Italians, probably a good candidate for the boatman strat. And I actually have a bunch of logic in my script at the beginning to determine if it's playing water and it's playing a water civ, what I consider to be a water civ. So if both those things are true, then the let's see, resign. If either one of these things aren't true, if we're not playing a water civ or we're not playing on a water map, the AI will chat, I like to make boats, this map/civ is not suitable for that, and resign. So, certain combination of maps and civs, it'll just rage quit, you know. Maybe that's a bit of a touch that makes it seem a bit more human, but we all know that when you tear down the wall behind the AI, it's just a bunch of if statements. At least that's what it seems like. If you're programming in Java, it's going to be a bunch of function calls and objects being deleted and made and whatever, but sort of gotten off track here for sure. Should probably stick to what's on the screen here instead of going into programming philosophy, different languages, etc., you know. As you can see, the boatman, he likes to make some fishing ships, and I'm just reminded every time there's water and there's fish, I'm just reminded of the fact that this is like such an excellent food source, right? So take advantage of those fish, people. I mean, there are some maps, I've seen some maps where the town center like is stuck in a marsh, like you start in a marsh and there's like fish leaping out of the marsh and like right underneath your TC. And my guess is those maps are made to speed up the early game, which can be quite boring. And, you know, just make it so that players advance a little more quickly to the feudal and castle age, where more action tends to happen. But, you know, the pro players, they can do a lot with a little, right? You know, with a 4-man militia rush. Pro players, they can do something with that. You know, with a small feudal age army, highly skilled players can do something with that, right? And of course, while they're putting the pressure on, back at home they're still building up, right? So it's sort of Age of Empires 2 is definitely a game where being aggressive definitely is like sort of the default. But that's not to say you can't play defensively and still win. If your idea is to build like a solid defense and a good economy behind that, you set yourself up for a nice late game, and the tides of battle may seem like they're in your opponent's favor because they have map control, but all of a sudden you start coming out with these powerful Imperial Age units, like siege units like onagers or trebuchets, or maybe a unique elite unit that that's pretty powerful. You start coming out with those things, and the tides of battle sometimes turn, and the player who spent more time booming ends up being the winner in the end, because the other player invested a lot in an early aggressive attack that didn't do much damage. So that's a big long-winded thing I just said there. I'll take a calming breath. Maybe I'll take a calming sip of coffee. Ah, espresso straight off the propane stove. And to get to the castle age, my AI builds a blacksmith and a siege workshop. Or wait, no, it builds... What does it do? It builds a blacksmith and a market? Oh, shit. Just realized something. I deleted the logic for making a market. That is pretty dumb. Let's see, so... Market is a feudal age building, right? Let's see, blacksmith. Yeah, market is a feudal age building. I was like, why am I building a market in here? I better delete that line of code. Whoops. The dumbness. If you can build a market, build a market. Disable self. So yeah, we're gonna have to restart here. My boatman is never gonna get to the castle age because he never builds the 2 required buildings for it. So I made that little fix there, and hopefully we see it advance to the castle age now. Maybe these videos, rather than being a showcase of the AI, they're more like devlog type stuff, right? A devlog is where, like, you just start recording and you start doing your development process and you let other people see that, and people may suggest some good things that you should do, and they may suggest, you know, that you're a dum-dum, that you are an idiot for doing things the way that you're doing. They may, you know, there's that side of things too. It happens. That's not really a big deal though. These videos, they're in a weird spot, right? It's like, you know, if Age of Empires 2 caster finds a really good AI and maybe another really good AI, what they do is they set up a match, they pit them against each other, and they commentate it as if it was just like a good old game of Age of Empires 2, right? There's no scripting involved there. But these types of videos, you know, I'm watching my AI observing, oh, okay, it didn't do this. Whoops, I forgot code here. Whoops, I made a mistake there, right? Oh man, look at this weird behavior here, right? It's really not, how should I say, it's not like a finished product, right? When you present a show match between 2 very mature AIs, it's like you're commentating on a finished product, and people really like that. But when you're doing your own AI development from scratch, like I'm doing, there's a lot of weird things that happen, and that could, you know, put people off. It's just like, you know, it's not exciting to watch a guy forget that he needs to program building a market into his AI, otherwise it'll never get to castle age, right? I mean, is that exciting? Not really. You know, it's a video game too, so, you know, the consumers of video games, they tend to be a bit younger and a little less mature in their online interactions, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, also, some people don't like the way that I talk. Well, those people can exit the video and click away. Some people don't like how I have to explain all the obvious things. And the reason I re-explain the obvious thing out loud is not to annoy you, but it's to remind myself of what the obvious things are. Because this is not something that is obvious to me, right? This whole scripting thing is a new endeavor, and the things that, you know, go unsaid, you know, a scripter of 20 years is probably not going to point out the fact that, you know, if you can build a market, you will build a market. But I'm new to this, so just reiterating to myself constantly, okay, if it's possible to build a mill, then build a mill. That's what the AI will do. So my commentary is sort of going around in circles right now. And another fact about me is I happen to have a rare mental disorder called schizoaffective. And what that means is I don't always see reality the way it's actually... I don't always see things the way that they actually are, right? So, you can imagine having my logic skills hampered by the fact that I have some mental disorder makes AI scripting a bit more challenging at times. But other times it's a huge boost because when I'm in a schizoaffective disorder, I just think I'm like some robot executing commands that somebody else gave to me, right? Well, that's what the AI is, right? It's just some robot, follows what the scripter told it to do. It's got some wiggle room, though, to do its own thing. And no matter how badly you want to enforce certain behaviors, like, you're just not going to get there with Age of Empires 2 AI sometimes. It's like, no matter how badly I want these guys to stop chopping the straggler trees and build a lumber camp, like, they're just going to finish off these stragglers and then build a lumber camp. Why? Well, the minimum drop site distance is less than 5, therefore there is no lumber camp going up. Right? There's some logic in my script. Let's see, lumber build lumber camp. I say only build a lumber camp if the minimum distance from the wood is greater than 5, right? And these straggler trees are within range, so until they get chopped down, the AI is not going to build a lumber camp. At least that's what I think, right? This is my thought about how things work. Is it reality? I don't know. I always like to play the devil's advocate when it comes to reality testing. You know, what's real, what's not. You know, we can argue about it all day. Different people have different visions of what reality is. And when they hear another perspective that conflicts with theirs, they immediately dismiss that person as an idiot. That's one way to cope with the fact that each one of us has our unique way of looking at the world. A better way to cope with the fact that people look at the world differently, though, is to just accept that they are looking at the world differently, and maybe there's something we can learn from their perspective, right? I think that's a healthier way to deal with the fact that not everybody has the same opinion on everything. Anyways, what have I been talking about? Have I been talking about philosophy? Reason I've been a little distracted lately, I actually don't know why I am sort of running my mouth in circles. It's not something that I can penetrate deeply into and see the direct root cause of why I talk like this or why I behave the way I do. It just is the way things are, and I accept and move on, right? If I were to spend all day trying to figure out why I'm a crazy man, then I would just be walking in circles in my room trying to figure out why I'm a crazy man. And I don't think I would, no matter how much self-study I did, I don't think I would get to a point where I could say, oh, the root cause of my craziness is X, Y, A, B, and C, and D all interacting together. You know, I'm just not a person who can get to that point, I don't think, so. Anyways, I'll just continue talking to myself over this gameplay. Looks like the AI did build a lumber camp. That's a good thing. I make sure it builds a lumber camp before it puts a dock up. There's some logic. I started using goals for... I started using goals in my scripting. I think it's goal... let's see, G dash... Yeah. It's called lumber camp building. And if it can build a lumber camp, it sets this goal to 1. And only after this goal has been set to 1, after it's built a mining camp and a lumber camp, does it build a dock. Now, let's see, did that actually occur? Yes, it did. Okay. So we get our economy set up before we really start pushing into the water side of things. I was a little scared there for a moment. I thought the mining camp had come up after the dock, but I was mistaken. So we're in the feudal age, and the first fishing ship always goes exploring, and not sure if that's good behavior or bad behavior. I think it's good behavior because... Oh, where the heck is... Now I got 2 fishing ships exploring. Okay, ideally I have just 1 fishing ship exploring, not 2. There could be some issue here. Let's see, explore. Strategic number, set total number of explorers. I'm not sure if this affects units on the water. Let's read here. Caps the total number of land explorers. Is there something about water explorers? Explorer. Let's look at the exploring category here. Maybe I gotta... This says caps the total number of land explorers, so this wouldn't affect what's happening on the water, I don't think. Oh well. The 3rd fishing ship that comes out will fish. This is my prediction. Will it come true? Stay tuned. Okay, well, looks like somebody's fishing, so that's good. So that's like a small thing to really, you could really get hung up on, right? Oh, there's more exploring ships than I want. You know, I only want one ship to explore, and you know, it's something I could get hung up on, right? I could just quit this match and go back to my code, try to make some changes, not see it work, and then just give up entirely, right? That's one path I might take if I was frustrated with the fact that, oh, this AI is not following my build order exactly the way I want it to, right? So the fact is, the AI may not be following the build order I want, but it is following the build order I specified, right? I'm the scripter, I'm in control of what it does at certain times, right? So if there's some logic in there that I've accidentally programmed for the behaviors and the logic isn't correct, well, you see the result, right? The result is incorrect behavior, unwanted behavior, but it's not the AI's fault. It's the scripter's job to enforce their desired behavior, right? Alright, so still got the fishing stuff going. How many fishing explorers do we have here? I think it tells us. It says active fishing ships 12. What the heck? Where are all these fishing ships? Oh. I didn't notice there was another dock on this side of the island, so yep, that's this is live commentary, folks. What is this Civ up to? Not even the AI scripter who developed Boatman knows what Boatman is really up to, right? There's a layer of obfuscation getting in the way, which is the layer of obfuscation in this case would be my inability to pay attention because, you know, bipolar, that sort of gets in the way of my focus sometimes. We're going to the Castle Age, which is good stuff. Building galleys, good stuff, right? Gonna take control of the water. Now, to be clear, I have, in past playtesting, I have pit Boatman against the HD AI on standard, and the HD AI on standard is a lot stronger than the original Conqueror's CD AI. What I've noticed on water maps, the HD AI do is it builds like a little strike force of fire ships. And because it's usually faster to the castle age, it sends those group of fire ships to go wipe out the opponent's navy, and this strategy gets just totally owned. As you can see, this is a more eco-based strategy, right? I get the fishing ships out before the galleys, and somebody who swoops in with a bunch of fire ships can just totally destroy this whole setup, right? So right now I'm playing against the original standard AI, which is a lot weaker, but that means there's a chance that Boatman can actually win a match, you know. So what does that say about me as an AI scripter, right? I am purposefully bumping down the AI difficulty levels so that my own AI that I've developed has a shot of winning, right? Well, you know, you can make of that what you will. It's a decision I have made, and it's a decision I'm sticking with, right? Also, transports. Yes, this AI builds transports, and from what I observed, it actually uses them to send some land army over to the enemy base and start whacking away at the enemy's buildings with swords. I guess this AI sort of developed into an AI that, you know, takes control on the water pretty decently, but then it backs up its water play with a swordsman-based land attack using transport ships. And when I've ran this AI deep in the night and just let it run, it seems to win against the standard Conqueror's CD AI in about, I don't know, about an hour and 20 minutes maybe on average, but that's like a sample size of like 3 games, right? I mean, you can just sit here for hours and just, you know, watch these guys collect food from the farms, right? It's just like, yep, collecting the food. Yep, still collecting the food. Yep, still building the ships, you know? And so we should see Boatman attack with his warships. The problem is, I think there's no target for the warships to attack, so they don't. I'm looking at the chat log here, trying to figure out. See, I have 11 warships. There it is. My first attack is coming. Fly that Jolly Roger, lads. And so we'll see what these galleys do with the fact that they've been told to attack. They have not discovered an enemy dock yet, so maybe there's no target for them to attack. And whenever I try to take... Okay, so this is working. I'm taking direct control. Just for fun, you know. This guy is permanently stuck. Look at this. Yeah. Well, we're gonna jump into the game here and handhold our AI. We're gonna roam the opponent's shorelines and see if there's anything we can pick off, because Boatman is too dumb to do that himself. And this is part of the fun of AI scripting, right? Part of the fun of AI scripting is that you can offload certain tasks to the AI, and whenever you get bored watching your AI playing, you just grab control of the mouse and, you know, start clicking on stuff, start doing things. It's pretty funny when you and the AI get into a conflict over what, like, for example, your soldiers should be doing. because the AI always wins, right? It can execute instructions at such an insane rate that you have no hope of controlling your soldiers. Uh, you know, you have no hope of controlling your soldiers if you and the AI are trying to control your army at the same time, right? Woohoo, we stopped the market from going up. Alright, let's go this way. There's nothing really too interesting going on here, just being really annoying, preventing this AI from putting up a market, and that will, I guess, delay its castle age, so... Looks like there's a bit of a vulnerable war camp. War camp? Looks like there's a bit of a vulnerable lumber camp here. So, we'll take advantage of that. So now this, this AI devlog has turned into a player with an AI fighting the standard computer and picking on it. So that's what's happened today, and I'm just gonna roll with it, right? I mean, why would I be angry over the fact that I had to take control of the AI to get it to do something, right? I could do it in my scripting, right? So there's the responsibility of the programmer right there. Like, okay, you know, what can we do about the fact that our warships, they only seem to target docks or other warships, right? I've seen that in my playtesting where my boatman actually does go target a dock and then destroy it and bring it down. And I've also seen it fight other warships on the water and win. Piracy, boys! And, keep attacking. And now, here's a little bug. Not really a little bug, but a big one. My warships are stuck. They are totally frozen, right? What about this guy? Yeah, he's frozen. His transport ships are not stuck. Okay, that's interesting. And I'm really confused as to why this happens. Whoop, now they're unstuck. What the fuck? Listen to that. Listen. What's going on? Come on, guys. You can do it. Seems like I can't attack land targets with my navy here. Even though it's within range, like the buildings I'm targeting are within the range of these war galleys, right? Let's go explore the coastline and see if see if there's any docks we can take out. Maybe I can attack docks, but not land-based units? I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure what the heck's going on. But, you know, maybe if I put this video up on YouTube, somebody who has, like, massive knowledge of Age of Empires 2 can explain why this is happening. Like, why were my warships frozen for a moment? Why did the sound for shooting an arrow play, but no arrow came out? And why can't my war galleys target land forces or land buildings, right? So we're just going to explore the coastline here and see if there's anything of interest that the enemy has put up. Ah, man. Lots of coffee, lots of coffee. And I'll continue to run my mouth in a nonsensical manner as I do this. It's official, folks. Age of Empires 2 has officially drove me crazy. I'm a crazy man, and my crazy plan is to right-click. Alright, so it doesn't look like the standard AI does anything on the water. And I'm I'm just going to try and confirm that suspicion by exploring the whole coastline here. I've explored the whole coastline of the enemy AI, and it has not built a dock, so... we'll circle around the big horn here, and we'll go back to the lumber camp, and I'll try to target it again with my warships, and see if... so that guy is stuck. What about these guys? Stuck. 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 I do have control of this little fleet, though, so not all is lost, you know. Alright, let's see. Can we target a villager? What is going on here? That's so interesting. May have discovered some bug there, but let's see. I built quite a bit of barracks, and where are the transports? They're up here. And look at this, right? The transport ship, loaded with 3 swordsmen, is going somewhere. Let's watch it intently and anticipate with bated breath what it will do next. Now these 3 swordsmen, if they do get on land, I could do quite a bit of damage with them because the lumber camp looks to be unprotected, and 3 swordsmen versus, like, you know, 3 swordsmen could probably take out like 60 or 70 villagers. I'm not even kidding. Like, you know, your villagers, they're squishy, they're vulnerable, even after you research the loom technology. Now I'm just sort of curious, where are these guys gonna drop off? Over here? Okay. We'll take this little force and we'll do some raiding, right? We'll do some intelligent stuff like not running under the TC and dying immediately. The AI boatman, he needs some guidance at this point, so... yeah, get in there, get in there. And I'll just set these guys to defensive and set them right here. These ships are sort of pointless because I can't attack any... oh shit, here we go, here we go. Some militia came out, some archers came out. Oh, so my so it isn't true that the warships can't attack land units. It just seems to be like they can't attack land buildings. This is very interesting. I'm gonna see what happens when I... looks like they can attack land military units? Piracy boys. Okay, another attack is coming. Where? Okay, where are these guys going? It's like, the attack now command is sort of like the soldiers, they all get into, like, they all have, like, a meeting point, right? And then they all go to the meeting point, and then they go as a group to a target that they're supposed to attack. And I'm really not sure how to unravel, like, that logic. I think there's somebody, if I look up attack now on the AI ref, there's a lot of information here. Forces attack with currently available attack units. Oh, SN% attack boats. What is that by default? 75, right? Let's see, do I have something like that? Getting a little distracted here, but if there's a chance to improve my AI, I will do it. Nope, I already set that strategic number to 100. Okay. Let's see, what about attack soldiers? Let's see. SN% attack soldiers. Yeah, it's not there. So, to make the land army a bit stronger, let's def rule true. Set strategic number SN attack SN% attack soldiers 100. And we only need to set the strategic number once and forget about it, so we'll disable self. Once the attack now command is issued, all attack units group into formations, pick a building or unit to target, and march towards that location to attack, mostly ignoring enemy units and buildings along the way. Okay, that's good to know. Once the soldiers reach the target, they will attack the target and nearby units. Once the target is destroyed, a new target will be selected. This process will continue until all attack units from the attack now command are killed. The attack group's method sends an attack. So there are one of 4 methods to attack. That's really good to know. So right now I'm using attack now, but there's also attack group, town size attack, and direct unit control, which I don't really have access to since I'm playing HD, so I'll ignore that. The attacks group method, I'm sort of curious about this. The attacks group method sends an attacker when SN number of attack groups is greater than 0. So SM% attack soldiers generally works better, okay. That's all good stuff, right? I mean, the AI ref, I think it's the work of primarily one guy, but that's not entirely true because that one guy has gathered a bunch of information from other people and put it together into one doc. So really monumental effort, a really well-designed, simple website. Like, you know, if I want to search a command for, like, you know, monks or something, okay, there's no commands related to monks, but whatever. You know, it's easy to search this stuff. It's easy to see which commands are a little bit more advanced than others, right? It's easy to see, like, oh, this command is only available in user patch, for example, right? So here's all the user patch stuff. That's pretty cool, right? So this AI ref is really one of the best websites I've ever seen as far as programming documentation goes. Really full of lots of little details, and it can be a bit intimidating at first to try and build an AI from scratch only using the AI ref. There's some supplemental information in the Computer Player Strategy Builder Guide, which is a PDF that came with the original Conqueror CD and sort of introduces you to AI scripting, right? I think I even got it here somewhere. Do I have Edge open? I do, yeah. So here's the original Computer Player Strategy Builder Guide, the CPSGBG. The CPSBG. So there's more information for you, scripters, you know. Looks like it's sending quite a good chunk of dudes to go attack. And let's set these guys on defensive so they don't wander too far away from their post. I'm determined to win, guys. If I have to take direct control of the AI in order to do that, I will. Oh man, he's gonna like, you know, destroy the standard AI. Wow. He must be really good or something, right? Man, this is quite a bit of swordsmen, you know. I'm pretty happy about this. Get in there. Oh, okay, nice. So there's a mining camp up here. And the AI can be one of the most annoying I've seen some amazing clips in the AI scripting channel of the Discord. I've seen some amazing demos of Archer Micro and Mangonel Micro, and my assumption is those that AI behavior is available because of user patch commands. And yeah, I've just seen some really like stellar micro, especially the archers from the AI. Some of the AIs people have developed, I mean, they're just totally nuts, right? They still can't beat like the top tier players in a 1v1, but a 1v2 starts to get a little dicey, and then a 1v3 becomes very hard, and a 1v4, you know, one player versus 4 AIs, that becomes almost impossible. There are some scripters out there who also limit themselves to just what's available in the Conquerors as far as the scripting goes. So they purposely limit themselves to the more basic commands and see what they can do with that. And here's where the archers are coming from. Might as well knock down this building. So, there's many people out here who would probably chalk up this video, this YouTube video that I'm making as a complete fail. And that's okay with me. This this video has turned out to be pretty fun for me, so, you know, if I'm getting something out of it, but nobody else is, well, that's okay, right? At least one person on planet Earth is getting something out of this YouTube stuff. Look at all these freaking guys walking around. Now I do know, let's see, there's like a strategic number, I think, that affects this behavior. Let's see, SN group. I forget which strategic number. Let's see, SN attack. Group gather spacing. There's like some strategic number. What else could it be? Could be gather. I'm not in the right mindset for this, but there's like some strategic number that basically says like soldiers that are created will just like randomly wander around in the town that they're defending, and that's why you see these guys like just ambling listlessly in the town. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, dudes. 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 You have plenty of vulnerable targets that are not within range of the town center, my dudes. Like this house. Oh, they're going back to the mining. They're going back to the lumber. Better stop that. Oh, I think, shoot, if I could only get control of my cannon galleons. Yeah, it's building elite cannon galleons. Let's see, can I find some? Dude, I can control some cannon galleons. Oh man, this is gonna be like, this is gonna be amazing, right? I think this town center is actually within range of cannon galleons, so I'll be able to take it down and eventually win this very this is a very boring match. I think honestly the most entertaining thing about this video will be the random craziness that I've exposed in my chatty in my whatever, you know. Sentences are hard for me right now as I'm on the edge of manic laughter. Yeah. Look at that micro. See how I microed? See how much of a pro I am? Let's see, is there any more cannon galleons around? I'm having a tough time finding them. Where are they? There's a couple. Oh, that one's stuck. Let's see here. Oh, they got a stone mine. Might as well go attack that. Just continue to be annoying, right? The thing is in Age of Empires, it's like, once you have, like, a decent military force, you can just keep denying your opponent's resources. And when your opponent gets denied a certain resource, it either has to switch to a different one, which takes time and energy, right? It wastes time. Or they have to destroy your land force so that they can continue to gather from where they were gathering from, right? And that involves investment in a military, right? And you might not be invested in a military, so by the time, you know, these, 20 or so swordsmen roll around, you're completely open and vulnerable. And what you do is you just keep denying the opponent resources, and eventually you win because back home you're not being attacked, right? You're just, you're continuing to make villagers, which I think this AI is. No, it's not. And that is because it is currently housed. It should be making a house at some point. There it is. Okay. So, there's one thing that went right. Come on, guys. I wanna shoot the building. Oh, I hear the cannon. Whoa, what is going on here? Fun times. We'll just take down this barracks, why not? Oh, we got another group of dudes, alright. And I really wish the AI would research careening, but it doesn't seem to want to do that, even though that is in my script. Let's check, right? Careening. I say if it can, then it should, right? Let's see, 125 food and 75 gold, so I have enough resources. I don't know why it's not researching careening. Alright, it would be really helpful if I could put more than 5 dudes in a boat in a transport ship, right? Because that's like silliness. Alright, we're just gonna keep picking away at the opponent's buildings that are exposed and slowly work our way towards the center of the onion. Oh, look at this. The things you discover. These vulnerable lumber camp guys and girls. I'm not saying girls can't swing an axe, you know. We're not sexist here. All the guys and girls go to work. This is a dictatorship after all, right? It's just there are two dictators. There's Boatman and then there's Kellen Riley, and they both have control of the same civilization, and they sometimes get in each other's way. So that's the match, folks, and yeah. That's all I can say, really. I'm out of words. I'm out of ideas. The mania has passed, and I am still here, alive and well. Thanks, and goodbye.